The definition of consciousness is the state of being aware and being able to perceive one's thoughts, emotions, surroundings, and existence. It is the quality that allows us to experience life, make decisions, and interact with the world intentionally. So to awaken your consciousness means to awaken your ability to actually control and experience your life fully. Because to be awake or to be enlightened is simply to see the truth for what it is in every single moment, no matter what. You unconditionally connect and understand the truth of life. You're shedding all of the false stories. You're shedding all of the energies that are within your mind, within your body, within your spirit that are keeping you on this lower dimension of consciousness, that are keeping you in these cycles of pain, of suffering, of blame, of not enoughness, of victimness, of just self-sabotage. These are all cycles that begin in the mind. So as you awaken, you start to recognize the cycles of life, not only in yourself, but in the world around you. You start to see that there are certain things that don't add up. Certain things don't make sense to the logical or awakened mind. So we start to question these things. And it is through our questions where, with time, answers come. And something very beautiful and interesting to note is that awakening is a journey. It's a never-ending journey. It's actually why we're all here in these physical bodies. Some people are further along in their journeys, but everyone is on the journey at the end of the day. And for a lot of people, we are stuck in cycles of suffering and pain because we are very asleep. And we need these experiences of pain and suffering to pretty much shake us and continue to shake us and continue to try to rattle us enough so we can actually begin to wake up. For a lot of people, if you ask them a question about, what sparked their awakening, what sparked their spiritual journey, usually they'll tell you a story about pain or suffering that hurt them so deeply that it forced them to actually stop and to, for once, look around and to analyze and realize the state of their life, the state of their mind, and what's going on around them. And then from there, they begin to consciously make choices to become better, to do better, to alter their reality. And if you're someone that feels like they're not so aware or so enlightened, first change that thought. At the end of the day, we're all on the same path, going to the same place. If you want to speed up your process, you have to first realize the power of conscious decision making. When you make a decision within your mind, things in the outside world are going to start to play out to speed up that choice that you made. So when we're consciously making choices to become better, to see more of the truth, to let go of bad aspects of ourselves, and to ultimately deepen on our path of waking up in enlightenment, when you make those decisions, things around you will start to conspire in your favor. You will start to be presented with certain experiences that will give you a test to see, do you really want to wake up? Or are you still kind of lying to yourself and not ready to really grow and mature? We're going to start to be presented these different things. And God loves to test his children. He loves to see if their character is actually ready to be given more responsibility, to be given more blessings, to be given more frequency and capacity in their mind to hold. Because a lot of people think that they want more, but they're not actually capable of sustaining and multiplying that more into many. And ultimately, the whole purpose of waking up as an individual is to then ripple that energy and that consciousness into other people so they can wake up as well. Once you realize that there was an alarm going off for you to wake up, you then become that alarm for other people to wake up. And as I said before, this is a never-ending journey. It's infinite. Energy is never created or destroyed. It's just recreated. So as we wake up, we're just constantly recreating ourselves. We're constantly killing our old self and being reborn into a higher version. And this never stops. Even in the symbolism of a physical death, like dying in this body, you're just transitioning into another realm of reality. And whether you did enough work in this lifetime to actually unlock the truth, to unlock enlightenment, or to become awake, you don't die and go into sleep. You die and you're reborn on a higher level of consciousness because you're awake and you control things when you're awake. When you're asleep, you don't have that conscious choice. You don't have the ability to actually analyze your options. You don't have the free will. You don't have the energetic power cultivated in yourself to actually do what you truly came here to do, because you're asleep. When you're asleep, you have that haze over your consciousness. It's like, in a dream when there's like a kidnapper trying to kidnap you and you're trying to run away, but you can't move. You're like running in slow motion. That's what it's like to be asleep in this reality. It's like everything is kind of moving around you, but you're just like in this weird warped time frame where you think you're living, but you're really not. And that's how a lot of people are existing in this point in time right now. Oh man, my iPad died. A lot of people think that they want to wake up, but they actually are not ready to let go of themselves. They're not ready to let go of the identity that they created that is so enmeshed in this physical world, so enmeshed in their ego, so enmeshed in all the stories of this world and this reality. They're not actually ready to let go of that. So your daily lifestyle choices are a reflection of your level of awareness. The way that you handle conflict, the way that you handle your own personal experiences when you're having a bad day or a good day, the way that you handle misfortune, the way that you handle death, the way that you handle things in life are a reflection of your level of consciousness. Because the more conscious you become, the more aware you become, the more you understand that everything falls into a matter of choice. And you only have choice when you understand how powerful your mind is. I really feel like a big part of waking up and why the Buddha, you see this eternal smile on his face, is because he realized that in every moment, peace and love and truth is available. But you can only tune into that, and you can only utilize those choices through waking up your consciousness, through waking up the fact that you have a choice in every single moment of how you want to live, what you want to believe, and what you want to experience. The choice is yours. And then beyond that choice, there is real work that needs to be done. Awakening and enlightenment is not just this like relaxation process of you just meditating all day long and not really doing much in life. No. Waking up is actually a huge responsibility, and you have to really move into some uncomfortable places in yourself, in your life, and ultimately your whole life becomes work. But this work is not the work that we're used to when we think about it, you know, like working a job or working for this person or for a corporation. You're working for God. You're working for your higher self. You're doing the work that you actually came here to do, not what society deems as work. It's completely different. The experience is different. The reward is different. The gratification is different. It's completely different. So when we realize that the process of awakening is the process of doing God's work, you are waking up to the truth of God, to the truth of yourself, to the truth of reality. At the end of the day, like, that is one of the most beautiful things that you can offer yourself, your bloodline, the world, your past, your future. There is no greater gift than choosing to become awake, because it's a choice at the end of the day. I am a firm believer in different lifetimes. I do feel that our consciousness, you know, if you choose to stay asleep in this lifetime, you will just continue to be reborn in this realm of earth where clearly suffering is a natural part of this existence. And as you start to raise your consciousness, as you start to become awake, you start to understand what suffering really means. You start to understand the root of suffering. You start to understand the purpose of suffering. You start to see the story that suffering is painting for the human experience, and how the only way to stop suffering is to become awake, to raise your consciousness, to begin to open not just your physical eyes, but your inner eyes to the inner world, which is where the whole awakening process begins, starts, and ends. It's within you. It has nothing to do with the outside world. And when we talk about these concepts of inner work and waking up and enlightenment, you have to understand that the inner work that you do will be reflected in the outside world. Your outside experiences are you pushed out. One of my mentors always reminds me that, and always teaches me that the world is you pushed out. So when you are someone that is experiencing a lot of hardship, one thing after another, trauma, like bad people, bad relationships, sickness, those are all aspects of you, of your internal world being pushed out for you to wake up. And as you start to wake up and you start to change the stories and the narratives in your mind, you start to raise your frequency, you start to do the lifestyle choices, you start to do the work you need to really do, your outside world changes. Your circumstances change. The things that you attract and experience change because your internal world is changing. And a huge component in the process of waking up is present moment awareness. It is only in the present moment where the truth lies. It's not in the past, it's not in the future, it's not in the media, it's not in the drama of life, it's not in the outside world. The truth lies within your consciousness in the present moment right now, because that is all that exists. So the more that we begin to study what it means to be present, the more we apply the practices and the information of present moment awareness, the power of now is a great place to start. The more that you begin to implement that into your life, the more you begin to realize how long you've been asleep for, how many years of your life you barely remember because you weren't present. When you're not present, you're not able to access the truth. The truth lies in the present moment. But so many people are so caught up in the unconsciousness of their mind. They're so caught up in all the stories that are going on about things in life, about their parents, about the past, about the money, about the this. Like, there's so many distractions within our ego and within our mind that we are so far away from the present moment. And nowadays with these phones, these smartphones, it's even worse. We spend all of our in-between times where we're meant to be reflecting, where we're meant to be present, we're spending it on social media scrolling, which is draining our attention, draining our consciousness, draining our awareness, draining the power of the truth in the present moment, and we're just becoming more asleep. These smartphones, quote unquote smartphones, are making people so stupid. They're making people fall so deeply into a dream, into this reality that's not real. So waking up and enlightenment, it doesn't happen in the future, it doesn't happen in the past, it happens in the now. And I really do believe that there's this beautiful dance between choosing and being chosen. If you continuously choose yourself, you eventually become chosen. And a lot of people look at very awakened or aware people as like, wow, you're so special, or you're so gifted, or you're so blessed, when in actuality, like, most people don't understand how much pain and suffering awakened people have been through in order to get to the point where they are. Awakening has a lot to do with alchemizing your darkness into light. You take your unconsciousness and you work with it and you make it conscious. As you awaken, you start to merge the dualities of this world. You merge the good and the bad, the fortunate and the unfortunate, the love and the hate. In yourself, you start to merge all of these things. You start to wake up from this illusion of separation. And on an even deeper level, you remove the separation between your internal world and your external world. And you start to merge those two realities, and seeing that the more that you wake up your consciousness, the more that the external world will change. It's just about making the choice in this present moment to wake up, to stop running from yourself, to stop lying to yourself, to stop wasting your life force energy and your time, and start to focus on what really matters, which is love for yourself, choosing to do better now, not tomorrow, not thinking about how you should have did it 6 months ago, but now. Okay, so that's all that I have for now. I'll definitely do a part 2 so I can go even deeper on this topic, because I love it, because it is everything. So thank you so much for watching. I will be back tomorrow with another video. Much love, many